Hi and good day. So in this video, I'm going to explain and demonstrate on how for the validity and reliability of the construct. So normally we will do construct validity when we want to test or whether that construct is valid and also reliable when we want to test it in our study context. Okay. So there are two things to be discussed here, which are based on the validity and also the second one, reliability. Okay, so as for the validity, when we talk about validity, it is to know at what extent to which a concept is accurate measure in a quantitative study. So for the validity, there are two types. For the validity, which are we do content validity and construct validity. For the content validity, okay, we will do a pre-testing and also the content validity index, which involve with the panel expert. Okay, so in my study where I'm using to validate the over-indebtedness construct, okay, in that equation, the instrument for the over-indebtedness is not being tested in my study context, okay, because previously the researcher used that instrument as an index. So me myself is the first researcher who tend to replicate or and adapt that index and make it into instrument scale instrument for the over indebtedness study context. Okay, so how to do the content validity? The first thing is by using the pretest. This is the phase validity where at this stage I deal with the 6 over indebted borrower. So I give them a set of question. Okay, so let me show you the question. Okay, here, for example, over indebtedness, okay, where it is the index for a point index, easily acceptable until not acceptable at all for the for index. Okay, so again, I want to convert this index, adapt it with my study, and then turn it into Likert scale. Okay, so I need to do the validity. So for the phase validity, all of these question, this is the items that been used by Sheikh. This study, this author is the Sheikh, the introducer for the index, this one. So all of these question, okay, I had show it to the over-indebted borrower. Okay, this one. Okay, so and then in my study, two steps involving with the pretest, a sample with 3 over-indebted borrower involved in the actual study. Okay, sorry, I'm not using 6 but 3. So from that 3 over-indebted borrower, they had modified the equation. Okay, so they had modified, I recommend, which is OID1 and OID2 that respondent or over-indebted borrower during the first stage of pretest, okay, they recommend me to split the equation for OID1 or OID2. Okay, then, okay, this is the over-indebted borrower. This is one. Okay. Okay, so after I'm doing the phase validity, sorry, I'm doing the phase validity with the 3 over indebted borrower. After I got feedback, okay, so I do the ICVI. ICVI using the content validity index. Okay, so in this question, I use expert. Okay, so the expert a minimum for the expert that we review our our item in the construct whether it is relevant or not. Okay, minimum of it we need to have 6. Okay, so this one after conducting the pretest, So the researcher, which is me, conduct a content validity test by using the content validity index method. It can be concurred that for content validation, the minimum accepted number of experts is 2. However, most recommendation propose a minimum of 6 experts. Okay, so each of the expert, they will give a set of questionnaire and also a CVI table. This one. Okay. So this is example for the CVI table. This one. Okay, so this is the question. I attach the all the items question and give this table, the CVI table, to the expert. So they will tick, okay, clarity, the question or complete question, only one question asked at a time, whether it is acceptable or exceed expectation. Okay, so after the expert had ticked the relevant marks for um, each of the index, okay, so the researcher need to calculate it. Okay, so this is the calculate ICBI, where according to polit, if I'm not mistaken, okay, the ICBI value less than 0.86, 0.83 must be dropped in the equation. So in this equation, item 9 for over indebtedness have the value less than 0.83, which is the value is 0.67, and this item should be omitted from the study. Okay, so for the average CBI is 0.98, so it is acceptable. Okay, this one, polit. Okay, the minimum acceptable CBI is 0.83. Okay, so after doing the content validity, so after that I go through the construct validity. For the construct validity, okay, for the construct validity, it involved with the convergent validity and also discriminant validity. Okay, so example here I'm using for a lending institution practice construct. Okay, for example, first and foremost, we need to do because we want to know whether that item in that construct it have how many dimension of it. So we need to do the factor analysis. So go to the factor. So just put all of this one. Okay, let's say I'm using lending institution practice. One, just go to the descriptive KMO, tick the KMO. I'm using the principal component or principal access factoring. So it's up to us. So the Eugen value greater than 1, rotation, the Varimax rotation, the option, surprise 0.5. Okay, just click OK. So output. Okay, so this one. So there is no LIP1. Just delete the LIP1. This one. Alright, so now it is perfect. Okay, because the commonalities above 0.3, the KMO near to 1. Okay, and then the component rotation metric, it appear only one construct. That means for the factor loading, it only involved with the one factor loading. There is no multi-dimension for this construct. All right. So with this component metric, okay, we go for to test the reliability, the convergent validity and discriminant validity. For the convergent validity, where the CR, the rule of thumb, the convergent validity, the rule of thumb is must rated 0.07. And for the discriminant validity, we will look at the AVE Okay, AVE where the AVE must be higher than zero point 0.5. Okay, so let me go to the convergent validity. So for the convergent validity, I'm not using the CFA, but I'm using the Excel. So what can we do? Just go to the output and copy the component matrix. Okay, so I go to here, component matrix. Okay, so the first thing we need to calculate the variance component extracted, where the formula is we need to square times with this factor loading value. Okay, B4 times with B4. And sorry, okay, this one, just drag it. Okay, now I'm looking for the convergent validity. CR, the convergent validity, the CR must be higher than zero point 0.7. Okay, so we find the average factor loading. So this is the factor loading. So the average AVE, average this. Okay, find all of these factor loadings value. So now we can see that the convergent validity value is 0.73, which is more than this value have more than 0.07, and thus we can say that the convergent validity is exists for this construct. Okay. Now we go for the discriminant validity or the AVE. The rule of thumb for AVE must be greater than 0.05. So we just find the average for the variance component. This one, variance component extraction. So enter y, this one. Okay, sorry for the discriminant validity again. The discriminant validity is the average from the variance component extract. Okay, so average. Just go to the average and then just select all, enter. Now we get that the EVE is 0.5. Okay, so based on this value, we can say that both this construct, this item, all of the 7 items can represent and it is valid, okay, for the lending institution practice construct. Okay, then secondly, let me go for the reliability. For the reliability, okay, since I'm using the SPSS, so the reliability, we will look at the Chromba Alpha. So we have 7 items based on the factor loading. Just click the 7 item, then put the model alpha statistic. Scale if the item deleted, we can choose the item, or scale if item deleted is up to us. Then go to the OK. Okay, so the reliability value for the Chroma Alpha for all of the 7 items is 0.85, and this is acceptable and valid. Alright, so that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.